Welcome to my channel.
And this is English Podcast Station.
Today, we're getting into the basics, the real fundamentals of planning a vacation trip.
That's right. And we're drawing from a really helpful episode from the English Podcast Station, the one with James and Erica. It's specifically aimed at beginner English learners.
Exactly. So we've listened closely to pull out the key vocabulary and, maybe more importantly, the actual steps you take when you're organizing a trip.
Yeah, the idea is to make it all feel a bit less daunting, more like something exciting you can actually manage, especially if you're using your English for travel. We'll go right from picking a place.
All the way to checking into your hotel room.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's start with the fun part, choosing where to go. James and Erica talked about a few classic options. Erica, she was all about the beach.
Ah, yes, the beach, sun, water, just, kicking back with a book. It's that classic relaxing escape, isn't it?
Totally. But then James, he had a different idea. He preferred the mountains.
Right. He liked the peace and quiet, and especially the snow and the cold and winter, a different vibe altogether.
And they didn't stop there.
Yeah.
They also mentioned cities, great if you're like museums, parks, maybe some shopping.
Or the countryside, quiet, farms, animals, lots of green space. It shows how different people want different things from a break, really.
It really does. And listening to them talk, you pick up some really useful words right away, like vacation itself and travel.
And the place names. Beach, mountain, city, countryside. And verbs like explore if you're active, or just relax.
And what I found really helpful for learners were the simple practice sentences they used. Things like,
I want to go to the beach.
yeah, or the mountains are peaceful. It's a great way to start actually using the language to talk about what you like. Builds confidence.
Definitely. It gets you communicating those travel wishes straight away.
Okay, so you dreamt up your destination. Next up, when should you actually go? Timing's important.
Oh, absolutely. James and Erica covered the seasons. You've got summer, usually warm and sunny.
Then winter, which James was keen on, with the potential for snow and cold weather.
Then there's spring, when things start blooming. Weather's often nice.
And autumn, with those beautiful colored leaves. Fall, as some might say.
Right. And it's not just the general season, is it? They mentioned traveling during holidays or school breaks.
Yeah, that can really affect things like prices and how busy places are.
So the vocabulary expands a bit here, too. You've got weather words like hot, cold, sunny, rainy.
Thinking about when you can realistically take time off is a big part of the planning.
And again, those simple sentences help. Let's go in summer.
Or maybe it's too cold in winter for some destinations. Easy ways to discuss dates.
Exactly.
So we know where we want to go and roughly when. Now for the often slightly less fun part, the budget.
Ah, yes, money. James and Erica stressed how vital it is to have a budget, basically a plan for your money.
It helps you figure out how much you need to save beforehand.
And how much you can realistically spend while you're away. Because let's face it, the cost of trips varies hugely, doesn't it? Some places are cheap, others definitely expensive.
Yeah, being realistic is key. So the words popping up here are budget, cheap, expensive, save, spend, cost.
And you're spending that money on things like your ticket for the plane or train and your hotel.
Right. They even had a little example conversation, didn't they? Asking how much can we spend?
Yeah, and talking about maybe finding a cheaper hotel to save some cash. It makes it real.
And those practice sentences are great. I want to save money.
Mhm.
Or this hotel is cheap. Very practical for making those decisions.
Fundamental stuff, really.
Okay, destination, time, budget. Sorted? Kind of. Now we need to actually make it happen. Booking things.
This is where booking flights and hotels comes in. You've got to book your flight, how you'll get there.
And book your hotel, where you'll stay.
They mention using travel websites, which is common, or maybe a travel agent. You get your ticket and make a reservation.
That reservation is key. It confirms your spot. And then when you get to the hotel, you'll need to know about check-in.
That's when you arrive and get your room key.
And check out when it's time to leave.
And they gave useful examples like saying, I want to book a flight to Rome.
Or asking about your hotel reservation, or what time is check-in or check-out. Things you'll definitely say.
Absolutely. And just practicing I want to book a flight or what time is check-in can make that whole process feel smoother.
It definitely simplifies things. Okay, travel and hotel are booked. Phew.
Oh,
Now, what do we actually take with us? Packing time.
right. James and Erica listed some of the essentials. Erica mentioned obvious things like clothes, a toothbrush,
Sunscreen, especially if it's sunny.
and your passport. Crucial for international trips, absolutely vital.
Can't forget that one. And James added a camera, good for capturing memories.
It's all about thinking ahead, isn't it? What would you actually need to be comfortable?
So the key words are pack, the action suitcase, the bag.
And the items. Clothes, passport, toothbrush, camera, sunscreen. It feels like you're really getting ready when you start packing.
It does. And they had that little chat reinforcing it. Don't forget the passport, the sunscreen, the camera.
And the clothes, obviously. And those simple sentences, I need to pack.
Or asking someone, did you pack your passport? Good practice for getting ready together.
Exactly.
All right, bags are packed. Now, if you're flying, the next step is the airport.
The airport, which can feel, well, a bit overwhelming sometimes, right? Especially your first time or in another language.
Definitely. But James and Erica broke it down nicely. First step is check-in.
Yep, usually at a desk. That's where you get your boarding pass. Can't get on the plane without it.
Then you head through security. Bags get scanned. You show your passport again.
Might have to take your shoes off, liquids out, the drill.
Then, if you have bigger bags, you might need to check in your luggage, drop it off.
After that, you find your gate. That's the specific door you leave from, inside the main airport building, the terminal.
You wait there until it's time to board the plane.
And depending where you're going, you might also deal with customs checking what you're bringing into the country. Knowing the sequence helps a lot.
For sure. So the vocab is boarding pass, gate, terminal, luggage, security, customs. Key airport words.
And they had examples like asking, where's the check-in desk?
Or just understanding the flow through security, wait at the gate, practical stuff.
And those sentences, this is my boarding pass, or asking, where's the gate? You'll likely need those.
Invaluable. Okay, you made it through the airport, survived the flight, you've arrived.
Ooh, yes, arrival. James and Erica talked about what happens next. You might need a taxi to get to your hotel.
Or maybe use a map, or you have to ask for directions.
Then you find the hotel's check-in desk and use your reservation details to, check in.
First steps in the new place. So the words are taxi, map, reservation, directions, check-in desk.
And helpful phrases like asking, where is the hotel?
Or stating clearly we have a reservation makes that arrival smoother.
Definitely. And those first sentences you might use, I need a taxi.
Or let's check in now. They really bridge that gap from travel to actually being there.
Yeah, settling in.
And then finally, after all that planning, all that travel, the really good bit starts. Exploring
the area. James and Erica just touched on this as the next step after checking in. That's when the vacation really begins.
So, looking back at this deep dive, We've walked through all those key stages, haven't we? Using that beginner-friendly English podcast station episode as our guide.
We really have. They break it down so clearly. Choosing the place, the time, sorting the budget, booking everything, packing.
Navigating the airport and finally arriving. It covers the whole journey.
And importantly, we've pulled out that core vocabulary for each step, along with those simple, usable practice sentences. Understanding these basics gives you a really solid foundation, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. A foundation for talking about and actually planning a trip in English.
Makes it much more achievable.
So, as a final thought for you listening,
Yeah.
let your mind drift a little. What's your dream vacation? Where would you love to go?
Yeah, are you more of a beach person, like Erica? Or do the mountains call to you, like James? Maybe a bustling city.
And maybe just mentally try out a few of those phrases. I want to go to, I need to pack. What kind of trip excites you most?
What words would you use? Something to think about until our next deep dive.